One Drop, Shifting the Lens on Race by YABA BlAY, with photography direction by NOELLE THEARD. Hopefully I said that right. One Drop, Shifting the Lens on Race, YABA BlAY, with photography directed by NOELLE THEARD. Well, on the back gives a pretty good overview in just a few sentences. In the United States, a Black person is defined as a person with one drop of Black blood. One Drop explores how historical definitions of race continue to shape contemporary racial identities and lived experiences, featuring perspectives of 60 contributors representing 25 countries. One Drop combines candid narratives with striking portraiture in a living testimony to the diversity of Blackness. So, I didn't know about this book, One Drop. I didn't know about the author at all. But I do like learning about race. The best grade I ever got at the university I went to, besides a PE course, was my ethnic studies class. I got an A. Like, learning about race interests me. But a couple years ago, who was it? Abby Wambach and Dr. YABA BlAY did share the mic, and that's how I learned of Dr. YABA BlAY. I like what she does on Instagram. I learned about her book then and how it was coming out soon. I had to save my pennies. This was during COVID when the book came out, and you had to save your pennies. But I really enjoyed this book. It made me think. I tend to go towards science fiction, fantasy, because it's different worlds and nothing truly about this world that's, you could hope for the best, but you see the worst in people. And then it made me think a lot. And in the author's note, she went in to describe why she used the terms she used, the reason why certain terms were capitalized or lowercase, or how somebody's name was spelled lowercase or just initials. It's describing the reason why she did the things she did. And the intro was basically a story that delved deeper into a time and place that I didn't know a lot about, but explained more about a history that I need to know more about. One Drop is something I've never really learned, but now I understand it just that much better. And perspectives are much different. I'm never gonna know the African American story as well as it. Well, I could learn, but I'll never live that life, and I understand that. But I could take books like One Drop and really try to learn and be a better person. And I enjoyed it a lot. Like, she defines the different names that could be used, which I never knew a lot of these. I knew a couple of terms, but that's because I've heard it said from people. And one of the people I knew at a different point in my life called her daughter this because she was white and her daughter was half black, half white. I never use these terms because I understand them a little better, but I don't use them in everyday life, so I now know where some of the terms come from, which should always be willing to learn. And that's a picture of Dr. YABA BlAY. For all the people in this book, she says it's the people's name, how they want it spelled, if they want it lowercase, capitalized, where they're from, and how they would like to be referred. And there's lots of pictures and stories from these 60 people. I think some of them are really interesting. And I enjoyed this book. It makes me learn. I enjoyed it. I saved all my pennies for a long time, and then I finally got it, and I wasn't disappointed. And it's well done. I enjoyed it. It's going to be one of those things that during Black History Month, I will make sure to read once again, because you have to understand history, the good with the bad, and there's a lot more bad than the good. I would recommend this to people. It makes you understand more. But I understand that there's still work to be done and everything else. But I really did, and it makes me want to learn more. As in, I got another book, The Three Mothers of How the Mothers of Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and James Baldwin Shaped a Nation. I'm going to read that soon because I need to learn more. But for my first book review for BookTube, I started with something that not a lot of people would read. Or I haven't seen it on BookTube yet either.